Hello everyone and welcome to another Lonely Podcast Weekly Recommendations, where I recommend the podcast of the week, the movie of the week, and the book of the week. So let's start. Podcast of the week is The Incredible Adventures of David and Daniil Liberman on the Team Ferriss show. In this episode, Team Ferriss is interviewing Daniil and David Liberman, who are brothers and major entrepreneurs and investors who are very successful, who grew up in the former Soviet Union and spent most of their teenage years and early adulthood at the period when the USSR was falling apart. In the first half of the podcast, Ferriss is asking them questions about how they ended up being entrepreneurs and very successful investors. But the second part of the podcast, which I think is more interesting, is where Ferriss is asking them about the future, where they actually laid out their thoughts about the future and how they pursue investments currently. What I found very interesting in this podcast is their perspective on future investment, where they basically deviate from the current standard of investing in a company to investing in individuals, and as a return they get a portion of their income throughout their lifetime. It's a very interesting concept and I really enjoyed it, so I highly recommend it. The Incredible Adventures of David and Daniil Liberman. Second, movie of the week. Okay, so for this week I recommend The Other Guys. This is a very stupid movie. It has nothing to do with the seriousness of the podcast that I just recommended, but it is hilarious and I find it to be very underrated comedy. I put it up there with Superbad, Tropic Thunder, Dumb and Dumbers, and those kind of comedies that are just brilliant. The premise here is you have Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, who are kind of these loser cops. Wahlberg is obsessed with getting his reputation up, and Ferrell, he's just kind of this desktop cop who is trying in any way to kind of avoid any type of action. Throughout the story, we understand better their backgrounds and how they ended up in that situation. And we discover some interesting details about Will Ferrell's character as you dive into its past. It's really hilarious. There are a lot of great actors in this movie and I just find it to be so funny. I watch it several times and every time I watch it, I just enjoy it. It's like Will Ferrell at its best, and so is Mark Wahlberg. So, The Other Guys, I hope you will enjoy. Okay, lastly, Book of the Week. Book of the Week is Unwanted Advances by Laura Kipnis. Sharp deviation from the movie. So this book basically provides significant insights into the sexual misconduct allegations on college campuses under the auspices of Title IX. The main issue revolves around the story of Professor Peter Ludlow, I believe this is how you pronounce his name, who was falsely accused by a freshman student. Throughout this entire book, you have multiple anecdotes about different students, professors, and other university staff members who were falsely accused. And what is the most interesting portion of it is the actual lack of due process that takes place in those universities. It's absolutely mind-boggling to see how it is completely divorced from the American Constitution's standards of due process under the law. So this book is extremely relevant, specifically this week, as we understand better the story behind the allegations laid against Trevor Bauer. I'm sure everyone saw the video that he released on that, which is again terrifying. And I think this book speaks to this whole issue that obviously manifests itself in different situations with different people and different organizations. So, Unwanted Advances by Laura Kipnis. Okay, so to summarize, podcast of the week, The Incredible Adventures of David and Daniil Liberman on the Team Ferriss show. Movie of the week, The Other Guys. Guaranteed laughter with an amazing comedy. Will Ferrell, that's all I have to say. And third, the book of the week, Unwanted Advances. Okay, I hope you will enjoy.